Welcome to another episode of 100% Fresh with Two Chef Mission. Today we are talking about snacks on the go.
Which is always a big thing for us, especially with little ones.
Yeah,
Snacks are basically a lifeline. We
yeah.
always have to have them with us just because it makes it so much easier to
We,
navigate our daily tasks.
we've definitely talked about it a few times recently, but that's because we're in the stage of children where they're big snackers.
Oh my god.
Very big
Yeah,
snackers. And therefore, we need to get as much nutrition out of those snacks as possible so
absolutely.
that they're worthwhile snacks for our kids.
Yeah, which is always a great thing to be able to experience the fact that you're getting worthwhile snacks that you know are going to be better for them because there's so many snacks out on the market. It's crazy. It can be overwhelming. But when you find good ones that you really have faith in and you know that they're good for your kids as well, and to see your kids just inherently go for them, that's a great win.
Yes, and if you're a busy family like us, you're probably out and about a lot
Oh yeah.
as well. So, snacks on the go, very useful.
Hmm.
So, that's what we're going to be talking about. We kind of briefly discussed why it's important,
Yeah.
but it's important for a busy lifestyle because if you're out and about, you need things to help maintain your energy levels and avoid hunger, especially if you are like us and you are parents and you have children, because I think we've all probably dealt with a cranky, hungry child.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
No, it's not. And I feel like that makes it, when you're dealing with cranky, upset children, especially as a busy parent, and just trying to get your daily, tasks or chores, whatever you want to call it, done. And it makes it harder because, even experiencing it here, it can add on so much time to either getting it out of the house or even if you're at the store or you're doing whatever it is, it takes more time because now you have to stop what you're doing and then
get
focus
something.
on them
Yeah.
to try to bring them down and calm them down.
And we don't since our oldest was on solid foods like foods and
Oh
stuff,
yeah.
we don't leave the house without snacks.
No, it's
That is
insane.
that has been a thing. So if you are anything like us, then snacks on the go is a super helpful thing. So let's dive in some
Yeah,
tips.
go ahead.
So what are some important tips when you are thinking of snacks on the go?
Well, so when I think of snacks on the go, some of the bigger things that I think about are, can it be a filling snack? Can it be something that'll, if they're going to eat it, they're going to be okay until we get back home, and then I can either make them a lunch, or I can make them a meal, or even make them, another plate that's going to be more snack-esque. But it'll just be like, like a veggie and meat and cheese board or something.
Which
Something that they love.
Yeah. Because they're very snacky and they love, even if it's like, oh, it's a meal, but it feels like a snack.
Yeah.
It's a win.
All about that.
Yes. Because they're good at trying things, but for some reason, sometimes meals are a hit. A lot of times, snacks are majorly a hit.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's just because they're always needing it throughout the day with the energy.
Yeah. Because they burn so much. They're running around
Mm-hmm.
all the time, constantly, with basically zero stops.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can imagine they need to just
Yes.
constantly shovel something in.
So thinking about whether it's going to be filling is definitely helpful. I think also having those nutritional considerations of whether it's going to provide value to sustain their energy as well is definitely part of that, because I mean, we all know that there are basically snacks that you eat mindlessly that are not really great selections because they're not going to be filling.
Yeah, that's true. And
They're-
I think we all succumb to that from time to time.
Yes.
I think a really big example are potato chips.
Yeah.
In any variety.
They're probably the biggest.
Tortilla chips, potato chips,
Because it
veggie
always
chips.
feels like you're not eating anything. So while it's okay sometimes, there's better options that are more filling. And that's where you kind of put that consideration in is this going to be a filling snack? Is it going to help with energy? Think about the nutrition of it.
Absolutely.
Now, when you're thinking about having to go do a task, or like if you're going to a park, if you're going out and about, portability.
Oh, that's a huge one because you want to make sure that you have something that's easily able to move with you. And I think there have been a number of companies that have really gotten on board with this, and these are things that you can find in the store. We call them like adult Lunchables because they're just basically meat and cheese or like crackers, and they're really portable. They're really easy for kids to enjoy, and especially like our kids, they like that stuff.
We usually make our own.
But yeah,
we take that concept and can we make our own? But you could grab those at the store. So portability, easy to carry, also easy to eat.
Exactly.
So we also have car seat situations. You have to think, can they hold it? Can it sit in a cup holder? That kind of thing. Because
how big
toddler hands. Yes. Pop-Tarts?
No.
Not good in the car.
Not good in the car.
We learned that.
Yeah, they like them, and that can be a nice sweet treat to have.
But they break real easy, and they get real mushy.
It's and the crumbly side.
Sticks.
Yeah.
Especially, the wrong way.
Yeah, I think we learned that when we were going out to one of the parks.
And it sticks to their clothes, too, yeah.
They fell asleep.
That one was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was stuck to their clothes. It was stuck to their hand. I think Wyatt might have had it somewhere on his face.
Probably. It was, but yeah,
that was a fun time.
So thinking about if you're eating in the car, how messy is it going to be? I didn't put that on our tips, but that's a good one.
Yeah.
The messiness of it. And then also the convenience, because you were talking about kind of like Lunchable-esque type things.
Right.
That's very convenient, easy to grab and stuff. So
yeah, easy to transport.
So you kind of want to think within convenience. Is homemade a good option? Is store-bought better? Balancing the two.
And I think it really just comes down to figuring out what's going to work best for you and your family. Like for us, we like to make a really fair amount of things as much as we can.
Yes.
Of course, when it comes to meats, we just buy them from the store. I'm not going to go out there and try to make our own sort of salami or
curing our own meats. Like we do not have the space for this.
We really don't.
Also, with 3 children, that's very fine.
My thing is, I think the kids would be interested in seeing the process.
Maybe someday. But right now, we're still...
It's convenient
it's always
for us to just get it at the store,
still, yes.
Bring it home. Either already get the ones that sometimes are pre-cut and ready to go, so you can just really quickly portion it.
Yeah.
Or sometimes we'll just get the log and we'll cut it ourselves.
But I think what you just pointed out is that you can only get so homemade.
Oh, yeah. There's really so far you can go.
If it's at your skill level, do it. If you want to. If you are in a space where you're like, this is a healthy option, it's a good choice, it's going to be filling, whatnot, and it's convenient because it's at the store, go for it. Ultimately, if you're being mindful of what you're getting, that's the important part.
That's really the biggest important part.
Mm-hmm. So...
be aware of what you're getting.
It just made me laugh about the curing our own meats. Like... who knows? Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
Could be interesting.
I think it'd be a fun experiment.
Yeah, there's lots of fun experiments with cooking.
Oh, yeah.
But there's also options. So there's going to be talking about homemade versus store-bought. We have a little bit option-wise. So like if you're doing some DIYs or making them at home, there's some easy options that you can do, such as like trail mixes. And if that's where you're wanting to be more specific as to what's in it, because there are also options that you can pick up. But again, the important part, so like, if you're really focusing on, I want to get maybe cleaner ingredients, less ingredients in things, controlling more of what goes into it,
Right.
doing things like trail mix or bites or bars and things like that
Yeah.
are a good option.
Yeah.
And the upside is that there's lots of variety as to what you can do. Because I
Yeah.
think we did this was a while back. I'm pretty sure we did like a video of like 4 or 5 different trail mixes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But there's so many options
Man,
because
that
there's
quite a spell. Yeah.
it was, I don't know if we had kids at that point. We might we'll have to come up with some
We'll have
trail
to
mix
dig down in
options
the
again. Yeah,
archives.
in the archives. Those videos might not be great anymore. They're old. But there's so many options because there's so many different seeds, nuts, dry fruits.
Yeah. I mean, it's
bits involved.
yeah. I mean, even you can even get a little crazy with it, where, and I'd say it's a little crazy, but it's really not. But you can add certain candy-coated chocolates. You can add certain
some like
sweet
so
treats
like
into it.
we put dark chocolate M&Ms in before.
Yeah.
But also, if you're thinking about doing coated stuff, think if you're going to be in the sun.
Oh yeah, for sure, because that's gonna get on everything.
Mushy meltiness.
Yeah, that's gonna get on everything.
Depending on what you're selecting, pretzels are a good option too.
Very good option. They give you that nice salty crunch, and they're just really good all around.
Yes. So some easy DIY that you can do, kind of minimal effort, a little bit. Other things you could do more store-bought, but our recommendation would be that you also pay attention to the labels to see what's in them, because sometimes they can have hidden ingredients, hidden allergens.
Yeah.
It's always good to be mindful.
It really is, because at the end of the day, as busy parents, you're really wanting to see your kids have the best experience they can in life growing up and in their own food journey. And so being mindful of what's going into that is a huge component of it.
Yes. Some other things that go into it are like some important factors, right? The flavors, right?
Yeah.
Certain things you can find good alternatives, right? So like for us, for instance, our kids love fruit snacks.
Yeah.
But fruit snacks are kind of an empty snack when it comes to basically just being like some color, some flavoring, some sugar, right?
Yeah. And I think what they really like out of it's the sugar.
Yeah. But we searched for some alternatives where they have some fruit bars that are kind of more fruit leathery, where they actually have fruit in them.
Yeah, their main ingredients are the fruit puree that actually comprises.
Oh my goodness.
My brain is just like not even.
You're really winning with the talking, right?
Right, but the fruit puree that comprises the actual bulk of the bar, which is great, and it has great flavor. It tastes exactly like what it's supposed to be of what they're advertising.
Yeah.
And it doesn't taste overly sweet, but it's a really good alternative, and our boys love them.
And it doesn't compromise on the portability or the convenience of it, because it's still super easy to take. And actually, they're almost easier. They're almost easier because it's a bar. Yeah. Both of the options we have are bars, and they're still like a fruit bar, but they're not like the different fruit snacks that kind of could spill everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So on an upside, I was like, so they're almost more convenient for like in the car or that kind of thing.
Because I'm thinking about it, and like you're just saying with the fruit snacks, they could spill everywhere, or you could miss, 1 or 2 pieces of it, and then all of a sudden you find them, days, weeks, however long.
Or your child finds them, and they're like, "Oh, I'm just gonna eat this fruit snack from my brother's car seat." How old is that?
It's like, how long has it been there?
How old is that? Oh, it didn't taste good. Yeah, it's old, but so it doesn't compromise on the flavors, which is a very important one, because certain things don't taste the same. I've had some so if I was trying to look for different bars, right? Yeah. They have some that are very healthy. Very healthy. And I've tried them. And some of them some of them I'm like, okay, this is too far.
Yeah.
There's other options that taste delicious, and they're less ingredients, but they're not as extreme.
Yeah.
So it's like the middle ground, right?
So, and I think that's the best way of saying it is finding the middle ground of what is going to work best for you and your family. Because at the end of the day, even just you as an individual, if you're looking for snacks that are easy on the go, finding what's that middle ground that you're like, okay, yeah, I can definitely go for this, and I know it's got better ingredients than what I usually get.
Yes. The other thing that you're going to have be a factor is if you have allergies or restrictions.
Yeah.
Which is a big one for snacks, because snacks are notorious for having things like soy or gluten or nuts.
Yeah.
All of which are top allergies. So that's where more homemade is probably going to be safer, or very much focusing on your labels.
Right. And I think those are really two good points to make, because if you want to have the experience and want to have the understanding of what's exactly going in your snack bars, then doing them homemade is probably going to be best for you.
Yes.
You're also going to have to understand that there's going to be a little bit of commitment and investment on learning the recipe and mastering the recipe. Whereas if you're looking for a more convenient option, understanding what's in the labels and what's going into it and what is your allergy or restriction and what could potentially trigger it, either if it's by cross-contamination by something that might be processed in the
and
same
yeah,
facility.
and that's where reading your labels is very important, because and I will say that, like, in our recipes that we share allergy factoids. I don't know why that was in my brain, but like how to adjust for allergies. One of the things that I think I put always is, when you're shopping, make sure to check your labels of your ingredients for any cross-contamination possibility or hidden allergens, because there are both that we have found in multiple items.
Yeah, and it makes it really difficult for the families and individuals that do have certain food-related allergies or restrictions, that they're not able to have what they may have once had.
Yes. So while we touch on allergies and restrictions, we've actually worked with quite a lot in that. People, yeah. Yes, with a variety of different allergies and stuff. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I deal with allergies all the time, I wish I could have snacks, and you have questions or need help, reach out to us, because we're a resource and we really like being able to help you.
Absolutely. That's what we're here for, and that's why we, make these videos, these podcasts, make a lot of the content that we do. We want to be that resource that helps individuals gain more confidence in their kitchen and gain more confidence in their food and what they're finding.
And of course, our help is from a chef's perspective of understanding and knowing ingredients in cooking.
Yeah.
So we have had to adjust a lot of recipes for, like we said, tons of different allergies. And for us, we actually enjoy the challenge of figuring out new ways of doing things.
It's like putting a puzzle together.
It is. It's like a crazy puzzle, but we enjoy it.
Yeah.
So, next, snack options. What are your favorite on-the-go snacks? What's the
favorite on-the-go snacks? Yeah. I mean, there's a few. I always like the option of having like a banana or an orange.
Having like easy fruit.
Really quick, easy fruit that you can just grab and run out the door. Typically we usually have a pretty fair amount of bananas in our house, and that's just because our boys are basically little monkeys.
And you.
Yes, I contribute to that. But our boys are basically little monkeys, and they will eat banana after banana after banana, and we have to stop them sometimes. Say, guys, you've already had enough bananas for right now. Let's hold on and let your stomach settle with them.
They love the fruit, though.
They really do.
And we've talked about this in another episode, but we like always keep fruit as like easy accessible. It's like it's right there.
Yep.
My finger. I'm gonna keep right there. We're both pointing at it.
In this bowl,
we have fruit.
We have
as you see all
the oranges
mayhem
in there
behind us.
But
Our
so
snake, our shrimp,
yeah, no,
over there.
over
Wait,
here.
over there. All the confusion, right?
There he is.
Right there. Anyways,
But
that
I
has
love
nothing to do with snacks.
I love the option of having a quick, easy, fresh fruit to go
Mm-hmm.
to. If it's something that I can plan ahead,
Mm-hmm.
um, I might go for something like, and if you know me, you know that I don't like peanut butter and chocolate. Peanut butter and chocolate, I cannot get the
But
understanding and love of
but
everybody.
you ate a Take Five.
Okay, see,
I
no, there's a difference to take five because there are other ingredients.
because there's other ingredients.
The peanut butter and chocolate don't
Okay.
aren't as pronounced together.
Okay.
So I can have
Well,
like a take five
I
every once in a while.
every once in a while. You stole mine.
I know. I'll get you.
Anyways.
I'll get you one.
Anyways.
But there, and this is something that we found at Costco. There is a peanuts and chocolate bar that we've gotten for the kids.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but
And
we switched that because
yeah,
it was an option. It wasn't probably the best option,
yeah,
but we found better
yeah.
options.
I liked it. We did find another
Which is
option,
another,
which I
like, it
actually
was
really
also
do
like a
like
nut
better.
bar, yeah. And
I like it a
our
lot better.
boys like it too.
So so something nice and quick, like a bar that I can just open up and eat.
Yeah, preferably, like, we live in Florida where it's warm and sunny a
Yeah.
lot. So chocolate isn't always the best.
No, that's
So,
something that I know I'm gonna eat probably in like the next
yes.
10-15 minutes of like leaving the house, getting to our location, and then probably having it as a quick snack.
Otherwise, in like, we've, so we are going to a Disney park.
Yeah.
Because we're pass holders and we go.
We get the benefit of it living in Florida.
It just makes sense. We also will bring our insulated bag. I was like, what's the word? Insulated bag where we'll put some ice packs in there.
Yeah.
And we'll bring cheese sticks.
Yep.
Or those type of bars that might have chocolate on them.
Yeah. Because we want to keep those at least semi cold, just to avoid the fact that the chocolate will melt.
Yes. But so those are kind of like our convenience ones. Well, the fruit is still fruit, but certain things that we also will do is sometimes pretzels with like peanut butter.
Yeah.
Because
that's always a good snack. Yeah.
A nice crunch. We also get like some good protein and things like that. We'll also bring easy vegetables that don't necessarily have to stay super cold or whatever. Right. That some they can stay out at room temp. Like snap peas and things like that. But we've also done carrots and cucumber that isn't cut.
Yes.
Not cut.
No.
Yeah. I went to wreck a Ralph with that.
No cuts, no butts, no coconuts.
Anyways. But those are some good snack options, and we can always throw in a few more.
Yeah.
Well, and if you're looking for, like, if this was in another episode, but if you're looking for snack options that could be on the go, but probably more if you have like some refrigeration or ice packs or things like insulated bags, and you're going to be eating it within a good window of time, and that means not longer than like 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
We have a free resource of cheese and fruit combinations.
Yeah.
That if you want to check it out, we'll have, if you're watching this on the podcast or listening on the podcast, it'll be in the show notes. But if you're watching this on video, you can just comment fruit and we can send you the link.
Yeah.
But that's an option if you want some more combinations. Because we already have it.
I was going to say, it's also really good to have that variety and knowing, okay, well, I can make it now, have it refrigerated, because that's basically
even if it's like that you're just grabbing it and taking it with you at work and you have it in like your fridge or whatever there, because they're easy to take. That was a huge part of when we did them.
Yeah.
Now, some plan ahead tips.
Know where you're going and know what it's going to be like the day of going. So if, for like instance, for us going to a Disney park, we usually plan those snacks and kind of that ahead in the sense that we want to make sure that if it's going to be something that is kind of not the best warm, then we
Yes.
try to make sure that that is temperature controlled by putting in a little ice pack in an insulated bag.
Right. So plan ahead on like weather or if you're going to have refrigeration or things like that.
Yeah.
That's a big factor. And then I would also say that think ahead on actually being mindful of your snacks because if you don't make a plan, then you plan to fail.
Yeah.
And by that I mean you don't have snacks or just grabbing random things that generally are going to be more of your empty snacks versus the mindful ones that are going to be more nutritious.
Right, and more filling.
Mm-hmm. So be more mindful of planning that. And then I would say probably think about again where you're going, but in the more of like portability and convenience of can I do more maybe homemade or do I need things to be fully wrapped like cheese sticks or bars and things like that, like packaged so that it's sealed and very easy to take. So like I guess my thought is like going kayaking.
Oh yeah.
Right? It's probably a little bit better to have things that are fully sealed. And if they were to get wet, they're not actually getting wet.
Yeah, no, that's actually...
That was random.
I was like, that's actually a really good example, though, for knowing where you're going and planning ahead and making sure that everything is set up in the best way possible.
Yeah. So you're going to be looking at your... What was yours?
Mine was just know where you're going. And
so yours was like weather or like where, but it's, and then like planning the what, and then, and then how are you going to be eating it with the convenience and things like that.
And the timing, because there's only so long those ice packs really hold.
Exactly. So you have to plan your timing accordingly.
Yeah.
But we hope that you enjoyed this episode. I definitely almost said recipe. It's not a recipe.
You got a recipe on the mind, that's for sure.
We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we can't wait to see you guys in the next one.
Until then, keep it 100% fresh.